Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Kim here, and today is our Techniques Tuesday, but it's with a twist. There's going to be a little challenge swap component added to this today. So I contemplated not doing this video today because I was so excited to do this video last night. When I went to bed, I was, thinking about it all night, and I woke up this morning and I have a very sore throat, and I think I'm finally catching my husband's cold. He's had a cold for the past week, and he's been keeping his distance from me as much as possible, and we've been monitoring the situation to make sure that I'm not too close to get sick, but inevitably it happened, and here I am. I'm feeling a little bit not great, but I wanted to do this video and get it done in case I get really, really sick. So we'll see how that goes for the rest of the week. But I really wanted to get this done because it was in my head and I hardly slept all night thinking about it. So we're only going to make an envelope, but we're going to make it a certain way. And then I'm going to show you what we're going to do with it after. And the idea is to make an envelope using papers that you have, using repurposed papers that you can put in the mail. So I've cut these papers to 9 by 12. So they're 9 inches across by 12 inches long. And it really doesn't matter what size you make it. It's entirely up to you. And there are no real measurements. I just play around until I come up with something that works for me. But I've cut some music sheets, and I had some larger book pages from that orchid book that Thelma left behind. It was a high gloss book. And I thought I'll just bring these to the table and play. So I'm going to start out with the piano paper first. And so the first thing that I do is I kind of fold it up into an envelope size, keeping in mind that I want the envelope and I want a flap that comes down. So we've done these many, many times before. So I'm just going to fold it into that envelope shape. And you can use your bone folders or your whatever you have handy to get a nice good crease in it. And then I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to fold in about a 1/2 inch of an edge all the way across the side. So a 1/2 inch is pretty much the width of your finger. Don't get too caught up on being exact. So I just kind of measure with my finger and line it up and then press it down. Oh, I'm ripping my paper here. That's okay. Press it down all the way. You do want to use a reasonably strong paper. I think this might be a little bit too strong because it is creasing. It's also old paper, so that probably doesn't make it any easier to not rip, but that's okay. So I'm going to do that on both sides. And just kind of ease it up into position here. And fold it up. So pressing that into place. Ooh, I got remnants of yesterday's project here. And then I'm going to just double fold it up again just to make sure that it does have those good folds in it from the original fold. And in this case, I'm going to fold it the other way as well, so that we know we've got a good fold. And I'm just doing this for the sake of the video. You don't have to do this. I'm going to ink these folds so that you can see them, or at least see them sort of. And same with on this side. I'm going to ink this up. Just so you have a better idea of what I'm doing here. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the flap. and with the bottom of the envelope. Okay, so now this is kind of the inside of the envelope, only because I folded it back the other way, just to get a good crease in it. And so that you can see all the lines that I've made in the envelope. So what I want to do is I want to cut out these two pieces here, and I want to cut out these two pieces down here. And I want to keep the middle folds to flap into the envelope. But when I cut it out, if you can see the fold line here, I'm just going close here. I want to cut it just on a slight angle on this side of the fold and just on a slight angle on that side of the fold, so that there won't be any interference with the envelope when I fold it up again. So just taking my scissors, I'm just cutting ever so slightly on that side of the fold, going to where they meet, and then doing the same thing on this corner, just going right up to the fold but not going over it or cutting on it. So it leaves you kind of an angled edge. And some of you already know how to do this. Yes, I know that. But some of you are new and you don't know what I'm talking about. So now at least you can see. So there's the X where I'm taking this piece out. And there's the cross point where the two folds meet. And I'm just going into that corner on an angle. Not very much, just enough so that when we fold this up again, there won't be any crumpling or interference from the envelope folds. So now this is a longer piece. I'm going to do the same thing. Just go up to the fold on this side and just ever so slightly along the long side. So I would actually follow the fold line pretty straight just on the inside of the... So you're cutting it away from the envelope. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Okay, so there's my 4 pieces taken out. And when I go to close this together, now this one I tore a little bit, but that's okay. It won't interfere with it. I would put these 2 pieces in, glue this up to the envelope. And so you'll see that there are these little flaps sticking out. And if ever you look at a real envelope, this type of size, you'll see that they have these as well sticking up. And so you would glue up your 2 sides and you would close up your envelope and it's ready to go as an envelope, and then you can decorate it how you like from there. But you can also leave it open and stitch it into your journal, make it part of a signature going into your journal, and then once it's in there you can glue it shut so that you have this envelope in your journal and you don't see the stitch lines, and it's all closed up but with the flap open so that you can actually put things in. So that's one way you can use it. Or you can use it loose by putting it into your journal loose, maybe into a tuck spot or wrapped around and held into place with a paper clip. You can also glue it down and use it that way as a pocket. You can glue the flap down and use it as a flip out where you can tuck items in. Or you can actually use it to mail. Okay, so to mail an envelope, first of all, let's glue it shut. So I would just run some glue along the flap. Now in this case it was just slightly ripped, but that's okay. And up that flap as well. And then close. Now I went a little bit further up here than I needed to because that piece is there. And some people like to cut this little little end piece off. I just leave it because it further protects whatever you've got going inside. So now your envelope is fully usable because you haven't glued the two papers together, so you have a full length of your envelope to put stuff inside. So when you mail an envelope, of course, you have to seal it shut. And, you know, that's something you would do at the end after you put your letter in or your papers in or happy mail or whatever it is you're doing. So then you would either glue it shut or tape it shut or seal it shut, whatever way you like. But you need to put a return address stamp. And it just so happens I have my return address stamp right here. And so I'm just going to lay that down there. And I'm just going to pause for you to see it so you can see. You can see my return address. You can see it, right? Just in case you didn't see it, can you see it? Should I wait a little longer for you to see it again? And then you need to have some type of a label of who you're going to send it to. So I have some plain paper here, and I'm just going to cut it into a little label type size. Now I could cut it or I could tear it, but for the sake of this video, I will just cut it. And, you know, because I want it to look like a label, I'm going to, you know, make it more, I'm going to crop the edges just with my scissors and make it look like a label. And so it has that label shape, but I really want to define it more as a label because it's an address label and it's going to go to somebody, right? And so, you know, it's not perfect. My inker is a little bit dry right now. I have to re-ink it. But it gives you a little bit more of a defined shape. And I'm just going to put some glue on the back. And glue it down. And so there it is on my envelope with my return address on it. And so the only thing that's missing is a stamp to mail this. You have to have a stamp. And, you know, we are artisans and creative people. So, of course, we want to decorate it a little bit further. And we can decorate it all different kinds of ways. We can add flowers and labels and birds and whatever we have. I've got this pretty little label here with a butterfly. Don't really want to cover the label too much, so that's a little bit big. Let's see what else I've got in here. Oh, I've got all kinds of things. I've got these nice little pansies here that I could put down in the corner. I've got, this is a little bit big on this side. Yeah, maybe this one. This one's a nice size. Now, these are things I cut out of magazines. I don't want to interfere with the label. And, you know, I'm going to be putting a real stamp on here, so I'm going to just decorate around it. And just have a little play with it. And these are just things that I randomly cut out from time to time, and I just put in my stash for whenever I want something fun. Something different. I'm going to use that on the back side. I don't know if this will fit or not. Oh, that'll fit. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So I'm going to start with that. Maybe take a small little label that I have here and stick that down somewhere, maybe tucked in like that. And maybe I've got a larger one I can use. Nope. These are too big. Oh, this might work. This might work. Oh, it's a little too big. Well, maybe we'll come across something as we go along. I don't want to use the same style. So I'm going to get my glue paper out, and I'm going to start to glue some of this down. Now, I would probably use a stronger glue. For the sake of this video, I'm going to not. But if I was going to put this particular envelope in the mail, I would use a better glue to hold this in place. You know, like your white glues, your glitter glues, your tacky glues, that type of thing. But I'm just doing this right now. I don't want to interfere with the stamp area. Oop. And I'm going to add this label at the top. Try to make it straight. And this other flower. And this piece. Down in the corner here. Oop, folded that over a little bit. And this piece on top. So now I can still look for something to put down in here, but I'm going to go on the back side of this, and I'm going to add this flower down here. And this is all random stuff. I'm not giving this a whole lot of thought, but I just want it to be nicely decorated. Now, somewhere in my pile here, I have some birds. Yes, I brought some birds to the table. And I like that guy. He's kind of nice, I think, but he'll get cut off by the flap. So I want to find something a little bit smaller. Maybe this guy will look nice on there. Yes, I'm going to use him. I think, yeah, I'm going to use that one. But I like this one. Maybe this one. Yeah, I like that one. Okay, so I'm going to move that out of the way and glue down my bird. And maybe we should have some butterflies. I think I've got some butterflies handy here. Yes, I do. Be really nice if they were butterfly stickers. I was ambitious at one time and I was stitching all these little containers, but and they're gusseted, but it's a lot of work to make these, so I kind of stopped. But hopefully I've got, oh yeah, I've got lots of butterflies here I can use. I've got this one. That would be very pretty. It's a sticker. And maybe one up here. And let's see if I can find one for the other side yet again. Maybe I'll put that one up there and put this one on the other side. So this is just a quick way to decorate. And we all have this kind of stuff in our stash. You know, I could add some words of sentiments and labels and all kinds of things, but this is what I'm going to add for the sake of this video. So maybe I'll cheat and put him there. And put this one up here. Okay, I'm going to get this glue pad out of the way now. And I could use napkins. I could use napkins on the inside to decorate. I've got some tissue paper here too. I'm going to bring that out. But the stickers I'm going to add on next. Actually, you know what? I think I want to add some washi tape. I've got, let's see what I've got here that I can use. I've got this one here. That'll look nice. Nice and colorful. Well, maybe I could add some of this on the front too. Can you see here? I got all this in my way. Okay, maybe I don't need a butterfly on here now. Yeah, I don't think I need a butterfly up there, so I'm going to just put this pink one down here. I see my glue is coming up a little bit here. That's why I would use a much stronger glue if I was actually going to mail this in the mail. And sorry to put you through me peeling off stickers, but this is a great way to use up odds and ends stickers too if you've got some. I'll just stick you right there. And going back to the front now, I think I can put this guy down here. And that's starting to look pretty good. I think I should ink my ink pad up here a little bit, just so I can now ink it up a bit. And the same thing on the back. I'm going to ink up the whole envelope along the back. And ink up the flap. And in this case, I got a little piece of washi tape sticking out. I'm just going to trim it straight. And there I have a decorated envelope. I can go further and add more things. I could add, you know, I wouldn't go as far as adding things like lace and dimensional things and charms and that kind of stuff, because I want it flat, because I've got my return address on there. I've got a space to write somebody's address, and I have a space for the stamp because I want to put this in the mail. Not this particular one. I am going to stick this one in my techniques book. My techniques journal that I've been making with you. I hope you're going to make one of these to put it in your techniques journal as well, just to remind myself to make these, or how I made these. And I will make another one with you online yet before we go. I could have inked the inside of here, and now I wanted to talk about the inside as well. Now on this one I didn't do it, but you can certainly add napkins or something to reinforce it and decorate it a little bit more. I'm just tearing off a piece of this handwritten tissue paper, but a napkin would absolutely work good. So maybe on my next one I'll use a napkin. And because I've got this fold line, and these are old papers, I'm going to decorate the top of this with this tissue paper so that it goes over the line a little bit and reinforces it a little. So with a glue stick, and in this case I'm just going to put the glue where I want the paper to be. Now you don't want to add too much. I mean, I could go further into the envelope if I wanted to finish it off, and I will probably on the next one that I do. But for this one, I'm just going to go across the fold line. See, I've glued over top of my little flappy piece here. And this just will reinforce the envelope a little bit more because these are older papers. And normally I would let this dry a little bit, but you know, we are on camera and we are limited to time, so I'm going to fold that down so that it has the crease in it already. And this in my mind is ready to do something with it, whether I mail it or put it in my journal. So I'm going to put this one in my journal. And I'm going to make another one just showing you with that glossy paper. Where did I put it? I don't know where I put my papers. Where did they go? I guess I'm not going to get to... Oh, here here they are. I have a file holder right beside me, and I put my glue book in front of it. Okay, so here's one done with the glossy book page, and it's the same thing. I'm going to fold it up into what I would call envelope shape, making sure that the edges are nicely meeting. Now this is a thicker, oh, and I see the flap is not very straight on here. Okay, this one is a little bit thicker of a paper, so I know that it will fare well in the mail, and that's very pretty, isn't it? And so opening it up, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to fold in about 1/2 inch, the size of my finger, or the, you know, kind of the width of my finger. Now, am I matching this up here? Yes, I am. Now you could score these if you like. I see I didn't cut this very straight. That's why it's being a little unruly for me. Now let's do the same thing on this side. Yeah, I just kind of cut these quickly out of the book, and I didn't accurately measure them. But that's me. I don't do that. Okay, so now I'm going to again fold it the opposite way, so I know that I have good folds in my paper. And I'm going to quickly ink it on the edges just so you can see where I'm cutting. My inker works a lot better this time around because I just refilled it. Okay, and taking the 4 corners out, X, X, and X, and leaving these 2 flaps. You could take these 4 out and leave these 2 flaps if you wanted. I just like to leave the middle ones. And then following on the inside of the line, oh, my scissors have stuff stuck to it. Following on the inside of the envelope fold, I'm just going to go along the fold till I get to the corner. And on this side of the fold, take that out. Same with on this one, on the inside of the fold, and as well there. And you want to do it ever so slightly so you don't have gaps in your flaps, but at the same time you don't have any interference from the folds. So just ever so slightly on the inside of the fold, on the part we're keeping. And now we can fold our envelope back up again. Yeah, I hadn't cut this one very straight. Okay, but it still works. So I'm going to use my real glue now, the tacky glue, and run the glue along the edges of the envelope. As well, I know it doesn't go all the way up, and I can adjust it if I'm short. And folding this up. Oops, stuck on something here. So I hope you're sticking around. If you have to, you can fast forward to the next part, because you know I like to make you wait to the end. I make you watch right to the end wherever possible. Okay, so I came up a little bit shy here, if you see along the line, but it's still closed, and that's probably because I hadn't cut this paper perfectly straight. So when I folded, it didn't quite work, and then yeah, it was just, you know, one of those things. Okay, so my envelope is good to go. Isn't that pretty? So now I do want to put something on the inside, but in this case, I won't. In this case, this is such a heavy paper that it really doesn't need anything on the inside. But if you wanted, you could use napkins to decorate it. You could still use stickers and things, but you are going to be sealing it, so you're not going to see that part anyway. So I'm going to pass on putting anything inside of this one. But I'm going to ink the edges around the outside because, you know, it looks a little bit more vintage. And now in this case, the envelope is quite decorated just by itself. You really don't need much on it. But like I said, we're artisans and we like to decorate things, and this is a great way to use up stickers and washi tape and whatever we have on hand. Got some nice green washi tape I'm going to use, and just do the inside of the envelope here as well, the sides here. But it's not, you know, if you don't have ink, or if you're not an inker, don't do it. And then I have to put my return address label on here. And I have to put here's a little heavier one here. I'm going to put my label space on here. So I'm going to fold that up. And then cut my corners. So it really does look like a label. And if you have large labels like this, by all means use them. If you have stickers or if you make your own. And I'm just inking up the edges to define it a little bit more. And if I was mailing this out, of course, I would want to glue it down better than with a glue stick. Now the glue stick one is going in my Techniques journal. So, and then gluing this down. And of course, if you're using stickers, that, you know, is something you have to keep in mind too. Will it stay on your envelope. Especially this is glossy paper. It's moving a little bit there. Okay. So I've left room for my stamp, and now the rest, that's a little bit crooked, isn't it? There we go. That looks better. You know, I'm leaving room for my stamp, but the rest is open game to decorate. So I've got this green butterfly. I think I'll put that in here for sure. Maybe. I can peel it away. And I'm going to use some washi tape since this is out. I'm going to use the same one on this side. Now I may come back and glue this before I actually, you know, finish it off. But I think that looks nice across there. Great way to use some washi tape you're not really fond of. I've got this beautiful little purple flowers. Now I don't want to interfere too much with the label, so maybe off on this side. So again, using my white glue. And then I will further embellish this off camera. Actually, no, I've got these purpley flowers right here. This would make a really cute. Isn't that cute? Yeah, I like that. Okay, I'm going to add that on there too. And then I will continue the rest off camera on my own. But in 2 seconds, I turned a book page into a mailable envelope, or an envelope that can go in my journal. It's so pretty. There's nothing too technical that was done here to create this. And it's very attractive and uses up book pages. So you can see in 2 seconds, you know, not 2 seconds, but very quickly, I've made 2 very pretty envelopes. Now this one, because I just glued it with glue stick, I'm going to put it in my journal as a reminder, and I'm probably going to make a lot more of these, I hope. And but yeah, this will go in my journal, and I will use it one way or another, whether I use it as a tuck or you know, or fold it over a page. I've already glued it, so I can't really use it as a page in the journal, but you know, it is a possibility for future journals to do that. But here is my challenge to you today. I would, you know, I kind of want to know how many of my followers are true followers. I kind of want to know if we're on the same path together. And I thought I would love, love, love to build a journal of envelopes in the future, made up with my envelopes I receive from my YouTube friends. So, as you can see, my address is right here. It's also, if you go on my YouTube channel and look on my About Me page, at the very bottom, my full mailing address is there because it says, yes, I love Happy Mail. So here's my challenge. An envelope can go around the world. So it doesn't matter if you live in Denmark or Germany or the UK or Australia. I can send you an envelope and you can send one to me. And it's not expensive to send an envelope. You do have to keep your envelopes under 30 grams. I don't know what that is in the United States, but just to give you an example, I brought a scale. So we're going to weigh this. This is the heavier glossy paper, and it is 12 grams. So what does that mean? It means that if I send this envelope to you, well, now it's saying 13 grams. So I would always err on the higher side. But what it means is I can add a tag. We're at 15 grams. I could add a piece of ephemera or 3 very easily. I could add a finish tag or a little notebook, but I can't put this fluffy stuff in because it can only be mail. But let's just see how much it weighs. Okay, so we're getting to 23 grams here, give or take. So what I'm asking everyone to do, or anyone, and this will be ongoing, so you can do this once a month with me, you can do this forever with me, but you never know what you're going to get back. I might send you one of my floral envelopes that I was working on. Let's see, how does that work out? Yeah, it's 16 grams, so I could still put a couple pieces of ephemera in there for you. You want to keep it under 30 grams. So I will guarantee that if you send me an envelope that you've handmade, it has to have a real stamp, not a through the machine stamp. It has to be a real stamp because I want to see which country it's come from. And it has to have your full mailing address, exactly how you would want me to put your mailing address in this label. And if you send me an envelope that you made with 3 little things, that's all I'm asking for is 3 little things. And I'm only guaranteeing that I'm sending 3 little things back because it depends on what I put in here as to what you get back. It'll be a surprise for both of us. But we then have a keepsake, a handmade envelope that's gone somewhere around the world or around the country that we can put in our journal of whatever, whether you have a journal of happy mail or a journal of sentiments and cards that you've gotten from people, or if you just slip this into your techniques journal as just one of many elements that you might get in the future. I would love to be a pen pal or a happy mail pal with you under those circumstances. So if you send me one to my address with a real stamp, and it has to have your return address in this spot with my address, of course, in here, then I will have all the information I need to send you one back. We don't have to write letters. We could write on the back of this, just like you would a postcard. Who cares if the postmaster sees it? We can write all over this envelope. We can write on the inside flap, however we want to do it. The only thing with the inside flap is depending on how we seal it closed, we could lose some of that. But you could write inside the envelope before you seal it so that I can cut it open very nicely on 1, 2, or 3 sides, because I would love to be able to slip these in my journal. And we can do this at any time. You know my address. As soon as I receive one in the mail from you, I will send one out to you doing the exact same thing. I would love that. I would love that to the moon and back. That would make me so happy. And I want to know if you're in on this. So if you are, leave comments below that says, I'm in, and I will start making my envelopes. And, I was laughing to my husband, and I was saying, what if I end up getting 1,000 people? And I could over the years. That it would probably be close to $1,000 in postage. But what fun and what memories I will have in my lifetime. So if you're in to do this, I would love to do this with you. It's a very simple swap. It's not expensive. For you, it's about $1, I would imagine, to come to Canada wherever you are. Maybe it's $2. It's not very much money, and it's not about what you're putting inside. It's just a few little things that we exchange. There could be stuff on your desk. Maybe you've got a fussy cut bird that you want to give me, or a couple of stickers, or a piece of a washi tape wrapped around a card from a deck of cards. A lot of people do it that way. So just whatever goes in the envelope, so it's not thick. It has to be under that 30 grams, depending on your postage area and what they charge you, and depending on if it's international. I know international is a little bit more, but I'll do it. If you're going to do it for me, I'll do it for you. But you want to keep it, reasonable. And remember, you're only sending out one. I'm hoping to send out hundreds. So don't expect huge things back from me. If I put these 3 things in that envelope, That's it, unless it stays under the 30 grams that I can add a few bits more. It depends on what I have close by, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a piece of ephemera. I might give you a piece of art that's half made. I might give you a piece of art that's all made, but it just can only be paper. So whatever I'm gathering at the time is what I will put in here, as long as it does not go over the 30 grams. So I also would like to challenge all the other YouTubers out there to do the same thing. And let's start a fun movement of, envelopes going in the mail that are decorated like this. Like, what fun. Like, it just makes you happy just looking at these things and knowing that somebody around the world made this for you and is sending it back to you. No guarantee as to what kind of envelope you get from me, but you can be guaranteed it would be covered in all kinds of stuff and writing and things because I would love to have fun with this and just go crazy. So I'm not sending any out to you until I get one from you, because that's the only way I'm going to have your address. You guys have my address. And you have my address on YouTube. So that makes it easy for you to send to me. And then I know right away that I will send it out. And what I would like to do is also include this in either my Friday follow-up or my Thrifty Canucks video, where I show the envelopes that I got for the week. I will just black out a little bit of your address. But yeah, I encourage other YouTubers to do this. Let's create some kind of mail out movement and mail out some envelopes. I don't even know what to call this. Maybe you guys can leave me a comment down below. I love the idea of mail out movement though. So let's play on this and have fun if you're interested. So if you are, just say I'm in. Send out your envelope to me when you've got it made and ready to go. And as soon as I receive it, I will send one out to you. So that's it for my video for today for techniques. You learned a technique. It's something you can put in your techniques journal. And if you want to take it further, it's entirely up to you. If you don't, that's fine too. But again, I encourage you to explore this idea. It's just for some fun, and you can do it 20 times for me. It doesn't matter to me, because that means I'm getting an envelope back to you. So every time I get one from you, I will send one out. And I, again, encourage other YouTubers and collaborators to participate, and what fun we could have doing a mail movement across the world. I just think it would be awesome. So let's just start with one envelope and see where it goes. Anyway, I wish you all a very creative day and a creative week, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. And yes, if you're in, please say I'm in, so I can start making envelopes so I know how many to have ahead of time. All right, have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye now.